Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? What a wackadoodle day. Let's go talk about it. And good evening, baseball fans. Hello. 250 people to start things off. A lot of familiar faces here in the chat. What is going on, everyone? I am tired. I am pooped. I went back to work today, and the entire day I'm trying to focus on lesson plans and whatever else, while also keeping track of the trade deadline. I was going on Twitter as much as I could. I was doing everything I could to keep up, and I somehow did it. I even went to the gym after work today and somehow still kept track of what was going on. An absolutely crazy day. RBT is in the chat. RBT is in the chat, everyone. Good friend RBT. RBT, man, when we're going back to North Carolina, we got to go play up against some of those good ball players up there, man. RBT, welcome to the chat. RBT, over 1 million subscribers. Congrats on that again, by the way. Man, oh man. What a day, everyone. What a day. A historic move to top things off. I mean, that happened pretty early. My goodness. I mean, I was thinking like, okay, is this going to happen down to the wire? When is this going to happen? I thought it was going to happen last night, to be completely honest. I figured these teams would maybe want to get something done. And, hey, they waited until this morning to get it done. We saw a lot of action today. And you know, what I liked about today is we had teams that did multiple things. I love that. The Twins, the Phillies, really love the moves that they made today, going out there and addressing a few different needs. Honestly, I mean, some of these moves were blockbuster, but I just really liked what some of those teams did out there, man. They did a great job. Man, oh man. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We have too much to talk about tonight. What time is it? It's 10:12. I hope all of you got your green tea. Hope you got whatever you're sipping on. Whatever you're drinking. I don't know what you're drinking, but you might as well get comfy because we're going to be here for a little bit. We're going to be talking about all these trades. Hope you got your popcorn, your Cracker Jack, whatever the heck you got. Get comfortable, sit back, and listen to my annoying potato face talk about all these trades. But before I do get started, if you can, hit that subscribe button for me. We just hit 26,000 subscribers. We just hit 25,000 subscribers last week. And now all of a sudden we've got 1,000 more subscribers coming in. What the heck is going on over here? My goodness. But if you are looking for more baseball news and content, we are past the deadline now. So, man, oh man, what the heck are we going to talk about? Oh, we got to talk about just baseball now. I missed the trades already. Bring the trade deadline back. But no, if you are looking for more baseball content, hit the subscribe button. Everyone hit the like button. The like goal for tonight. I'm going for 300 tonight. We're going big. Hit that like button for me. Hit the bell notification. That way you get notified every time I go live. Hit that share button for me as well. And that's it. Also, we had a couple of super chats that came on in. I'm going to read those here in just a second. But also, don't forget, we are partners with SeatGeek. Use my code HYDE. You get $20 off your first purchase. Seriously, trade deadline's come and gone. If you want to go see whatever new player that your team got, go on SeatGeek. Go see if you can find yourself a deal. Use my code HYDE. You get $20 off your first purchase. I have used SeatGeek myself, and I have found myself a pretty good deal. Don't forget, we are partners with Prize Picks as well. Use my code GINGER, and you will get a 100% deposit match. So if you deposit $10, $20, $30, they'll give you $10, $20, $30. Take advantage of it if you're into the sports betting game. Alrighty, everyone. Let's get to it. But before I do get started, I want to just go over these super chats. We had one earlier from Conman. Hold on a second. I gotta go back into the chat here on my iPad here. It's already gone. So Let's see. Conman, you had a $10 super chat earlier. Conman752, one of our loyal Orioles fans here, flying back from Boston, so probably won't see your answer. But what are your thoughts on the O's 2 trades? I understood and I'm fine with them. Most experts don't like either of them due to the O's in the wild card race. You got to remember with the Orioles, they got a vision. They got a future that they're paying attention to as well. This is not the season to go all in. This ain't it. Now, it's great they're in the wild card race, but you got a vision here. You got to stick to that vision. You got to stick on that journey of building for long-term sustainability. The Orioles, yeah, they made a couple of moves today, but to me, hey, you got to do what you got to do to keep adding to that farm. They're going to be a good team here in the next couple of years. And to me, the fact that they made a couple of moves, I think you gotta keep making moves like that right now. And if you somehow end up in the playoffs, then hey, that's awesome. So, but Conman, thank you for the $10 super chat. We had a couple of more super chats coming in. We had a new member, Schmidt Boy. Thank you for signing up for your second month, my friend. Mets fan, hey, I have a question. Can you trade a DFA? Well, yeah, yeah. So if you DFA someone, you usually have a certain time period to try and trade them. Mets fan, thank you for that. Riley Turner, Cutter pitching a strong game against the Stros. Got a new first baseman. Pham got his first hit. I'm really excited to see how the Sox close the season out. Riley, this is going to be an interesting team moving forward. It was a retool. And, hey, I'm always excited to see new players in our uniform, man. I'm always excited for it. I will just say really quick, I will get into all of it, but I do like what the Red Sox did. I like the retool that they did because in the end, they still have something on the field that can maybe get them a wild card spot. And then you also got prospects too. That's Chaim Bloom in a nutshell. He's trying to build long-term sustainability. That's the key. Tom Amiano, what's going on, my friend? In Bloom we trust. Low-key, Hosmer is a W. I feel like Hosmer could end up being pretty decent. I feel like he could be pretty decent. And, let's see how he does. I'm excited for it, Tom. Thank you for that. Mets fan one more time. So if the Mets DFA Smith, they can trade him. Yeah, so they'd have to try and find a deal. So, yeah, you can do that. That's what happened with Brett Phillips. They DFA'd Brett Phillips, and then they ended up finding the Orioles as a trade partner during that time. So, everyone, let's get started. 400 people in the chat. You all know why we're here. There's the Mets fan super chat right there. Thank you again for that. You all know why we're here. The big one. My goodness. Absolutely nutty trade today. A nutty trade today. Starting things off with a bang. One of the most historic trades we will ever see. I honestly think that. We've seen Alex Rodriguez going to the Yankees. We've seen Miguel Cabrera going to the Tigers. But we've never seen a move like this during the season. It's just earth-shattering. We've never seen it before. This is a championship-winning move. This is a move that puts your team not just over the hump, but to the top. It's an amazing move, and, I'm still processing it in my head. Again, a championship-winning move. Eric Hosmer going to the Red Sox. What a move. This is the move that puts the Red Sox in the driver's seat, everyone. This is what you got to do to go win a championship. My goodness. Absolutely amazing. Sorry, everyone. Hold on a second. I got that mixed up here. Sorry about that. Juan Soto going to the Padres. Juan Soto going to the Padres, everyone. Alrighty. Okay. What? You laughed. Everyone at home, you laughed. That was funny. Come on. I hope you chuckled a little bit. Here we go, everyone. Let's get to why we're here. Alrighty, here we go. So, Juan Soto going to the Padres. Hey, you all, I stuck with it, man. I stuck with it. I was thinking the Cardinals the entire time. I really thought the Cardinals had what it took. I thought they had it. That, to me, was the perfect fit. But, hey, I have also said here, I've been on the record of saying that the Padres, the advantage that they had a little more volume, where the Cardinals, they had some top-heavy pieces. Maybe they didn't want to part with the Dylan Carlson. Maybe we ended up seeing Harrison Bader get traded today. Maybe they were feeling like, hey, Bader, or maybe Tyler O'Neill would be the guy. Maybe they just did not want to part with Dylan Carlson. Well, I don't know. But for the Cardinals, they had a few good pieces there that could have gotten it done, I would imagine. But in the end, the Padres, they just had more. They had more volume. And usually with teams, yeah, it would be nice to get someone like a Dylan Carlson. It would be nice to get someone like a Jordan Walker, someone like a Mason Wynn. But in the end, the Padres had a little bit more variety. And I think that is what put them over the top. And also in this, I can't believe, because Josh Bell was one of the hot commodities on the market. And the fact that he was just thrown into this deal, that's absolutely incredible if you ask me. No one's even talking about Josh Bell. I feel bad for the guy because the guy's having a phenomenal season. So, but obviously, you're going to get overshadowed by the modern day Ted Williams. But in the end, CJ Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, also Luke Voit got sent back in this deal. That kind of had me thinking at one point, all right, well, they're clearing out. I mean, I know they were bringing in Josh Bell as well, but we're going to get to Hosmer here in a second. A championship winning move, might I add. But to me, they got rid of Hosmer, they got rid of Voit, and they're bringing in these two guys. But I was wondering if they were going to make another move. Just because they cleared out Voit, I was wondering if JD Martinez was going to come back in some kind of a trade. I thought maybe he was going to come back in the Eric Hosmer trade. So I don't know. That's just me. But let's break this down. All right, this was a bit of a saga, in the beginning, because the guy that I was going to die laughing if this whole trade got completely canceled because of Eric Hosmer. I was going to die. I was having just a blast on Twitter today just thinking about it. I posted that one picture of Eric Hosmer with the fat face. Remember that picture that was floating around in spring training where people were actually worried that Eric Hosmer gained 30 pounds, but it was someone that just photoshopped it. And I had put that on Twitter saying, oh, here's Eric Hosmer rejecting the Juan Soto trade. But I'm going to be honest, I'm perfectly okay with Eric Hosmer turning down that trade. That's the whole point of having a no trade clause. You have that right. To me, I was seeing people saying, if Eric Hosmer rejected the trade, then everyone was going to hate him. It's why? Why? I mean, he had a no trade clause. He was completely in his own right to do that. And I'm glad he did it because it's no, he didn't want to go to the Washington Nationals. He was already they were already on his no trade list. So, I mean, why the heck would you're in sunny California. You're near the beaches in San Diego. You're on a great team and you're just going to go to Washington, where there's nothing happening. I mean, what? I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're going to get up and move your family all the way to Washington just to be miserable on a losing team. He wanted to play on a winning team. And in the end, we're going to talk about Hosmer here in just a little bit. But let's talk about the trade. So the trade, because Hosmer, the original trade here, let me go pull up the Hosmer trade when Hosmer was in this trade. This was bad. I'm glad Hosmer turned it down because he actually helped the Nationals in the end. He ended up helping them in the end because, I mean, for the Nationals, I know the Padres would have ended up taking on some cash, but I don't know. I guess it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference if Hosmer was in this trade in the end, but if it was just like this, I'm thinking why would the Nationals want to take on this contract? And then I was seeing that the Padres, they were trying to pay a lot of it. But even then, it's just why would the Nationals want him? There's no reason to have this guy. So I just didn't see the point. But in the end, you just switched out Hosmer with Luke Voit, basically. So this was the final trade. Bell and Soto, $171.3 million going to the Padres. The Nationals getting Abrams. This is huge for the Nationals. This is a good jumpstart on their rebuild. Their farm was awful. They needed to make a move. Listen, I know Juan Soto is 23 years old. You made your best attempt. to sign this guy. It's not like they didn't even try. They tried to sign him, and he didn't want to do it. It's like, come on, man. You're offering this guy a ton of money, and he's going to turn it down. It's like, all right, at that point, you got to get rid of this guy while you can. And they got a really nice package today. You got C.J. Abrams. This is going to be a dynamic shortstop for them in the future. Mackenzie Gore, this was a top pitching prospect at one point. I really hope Mackenzie Gore gets this together. I really do. Because he did get it together, but now he's having some elbow problems. So, I don't know. Mets fan, what could you get for just Smith after a DFA? Dominic Smith is really not going to be all that much. He's just going to, probably a low-level prospect, to be completely honest with you. He's really, he's not going to cost really anything. Mets fan, thank you so much for that. But the package for the Nationals, you're getting Abrams, you're getting Gore, you're getting a young outfielder in Hassel. Who knows? Maybe this guy could end up being a very good outfielder for you in the future. You also got James Wood. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, you got a really nice package here. You also got Susana. The Nationals, they were looking at this guy. He's not ranked very high. He wasn't ranked very high in the Padres farm system, but there's a lot of upside with him, according to scouts. So I think the Nationals, they saw he had a little bit more value here. Brendan DH, what's going on, my friend? Nats farm system just went from 23rd overall to 5th overall in 6 hours. That's crazy, right? It's amazing how one package can just turn your whole farm system around. It's absolutely insane. Brendan, thank you so much. Adrian Gomez Ortega, currently offering my fandom to any team. I'm done with the Rockies. No. Our GM has a gun in his head. He isn't allowed to do jack. There's only hope. I got hope for you, my friend. I got hope for you. The Rockies, they're coming. They're coming, man. You got Bryant. They're going to be all right, man. Zach Veen, he'll be up soon. You got some decent pieces there, man. Just hold your head up high, man, and just keep open, man. Adrian, thank you for the $5. But what a trade. I mean, you guys have been dissecting this all day. You've been hearing about this all day. There's really not much else to say here. But let's move on here to kind of, I guess, the other part of this. It really didn't have any sort of an impact, but Eric Hosmer, championship winning move. Eric Hosmer, in the end, yes, he was holding up this deal. He ended up not waiving his no trade clause, but that wasn't going to affect the deal. Or obviously, it did not affect the deal in the end. But people were I was starting to wonder. I'm like, oh man, are the Padres going through what happened last year with Max Scherzer? I was gonna die. Like, I was gonna lose it. I was gonna absolutely lose it. But because could you imagine if he turned that deal down and then the whole thing was just ruined, and then the Dodgers just came in, just whistling a little tune, be like, all right, we'll get Soto. Could you? Oh my God, I would have absolutely lost it. But for Hosmer, in the end, they were, and this is kind of a big deal because they've been trying to get rid of Hosmer now for a while. They have been really trying to part with this contract, and they got it done. And the Red Sox saw an opportunity today. They saw an opportunity, and they took advantage of it. And for the Red Sox, you are getting yourselves a pretty good deal here. I mean, the Padres are going to be paying a lot of that contract. They got a couple of prospects here. You got Corey Rozier and Max Ferguson. More lower-ranked prospects, probably in the 20 to 30 range. But the one thing I actually was a little disappointed about here with the Red Sox is they did have to part with Jay Groom. I was excited with how Jay Groom was progressing in this farm system. He had a bit of a setback. He had Tommy John. It was taking him a little bit to get going. But he's been doing pretty good this year. In the end, I guess the Red Sox, they just, I'm sure they would have liked to have kept him. He was a first-round pick back in 2016. But in the end, he ended up going back to the Padres in this deal. So, for the Padres, a bit of a win there. You parted with Mackenzie Gore. I'm not saying Jay Groom is going to be, that level. But I think with Jay Groom, that's a really nice piece to put back into your system. So, good for them. couple of super chats coming in. Brendan, what's going on? I'm just glad Soto isn't a Yankee for now. I mean, that's the one thing. That's the next thing to pay attention to now. What's going to happen with Soto and the Padres? Are they going to get an extension? That, I mean, to me, that is, if a team is trading for Soto, I would imagine you got to be trying to sign this guy long term. I mean, you got him for a couple of years at least. So let's see what ends up happening, man. That's a good thought, Brendan. Magnus Nelson, what's going on? Twins had a great, quiet deadline. Absolutely. I love what the Twins did. I am going to talk about that. Got what they needed without giving up too much. Absolutely. I think the Twins were one of the winners of this deadline. They had an extremely quiet deadline, and they did exactly what they needed to do. I actually think the Twins, probably one of my favorite days from a team. I really liked what they did today. I can't say enough. But back to Hosmer. Magnus, thank you for the super chat, my friend. But Hosmer, also, Foolish Baseball today was on absolute fire with memes. This guy was out of his mind today. He was living it today. And I was dying at some of the things he was posting today. I mean, look at this. The myth... I can't. This is ridiculous. The myth of consensual trading for Juan Soto. Juan, I consent. The Padres, I consent. Hosmer as Jesus, I don't. Hosmer did not consent. I love it. I love it. Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? My goodness. But I mean, really. I mean, he had a good point today. He actually tweeted this out. God, Foolish Baseball is great. Oh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about here. Oh, man, make this happen. I died when I saw this Jacob deGrom. Oh, my God. That just killed me. But where did he put the... Here we go. This is what it was. Maybe they should have, I don't know, talked to Eric Hosmer before they agreed to a trade involving him despite his no-trade clause. So, I think they probably... Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking... They probably thought, all right, let's see if he'll do it. And if not, we can probably find a trade partner. That's my guess. They probably were confident that they would be able to find another trade partner. And, but yeah, it probably would have. I mean, look at this, man. First look at Juan Soto in a Padres uniform. My goodness. The modern day Ted Williams, everyone. But yeah, so that was a little something. People were talking about that today. So... But let's get to the Hosmer trade. In the end, I mean, look at this. Baseball Trade Values, the best baseball trade simulator out there. I've said that a million times, and we will be live tomorrow night. You think tonight's going to be the last night we're talking trade deadline? Absolutely not. Me and John of Baseball Trade Values. I mean, this site, I think, it was probably like a war zone. I mean... John is probably sitting back on his couch or something right now. He probably passed out. I mean, my goodness, what? Probably an absolute war zone on Baseball Trade Values today. Can't even imagine how the server was doing at one point. Probably just hanging by a thread. People putting in trades nonstop. But for the Red Sox, I mean, as you can see here, the Padres are sending over a ton of cash. I mean, come on now. If we go take a look right now at the Red Sox here. Let's pull up the Red Sox. Let's pull up their payroll. So, Hosmer, as you were seeing here, he was due a pretty decent amount. Right around, what is that? Almost about $50 million more remaining on his contract. But the Padres are going to be paying about 80% of it. So, I mean, the Red Sox got this guy for the next few years. He can opt out after this year. That'll be interesting. I don't think he will. You know? I don't know, man. If we go take a look at some of Hosmer's numbers here. 90 games this year. He is hitting 272. He's got a 336 on base. The slugging is a little down. But, you know, I don't think he's necessarily a bad addition. This is a guy you can just put at first base every day. You know? Or you can at least mix and match in that lineup. I mean, to me, he's the lefty. You got Dahlback as the righty. So, and we're looking at the splits with Hosmer. Hosmer is, funny enough, he's actually hitting against lefties better. So, I guess that's not really a great platoon. That's pretty funny how he's hitting lefties better. So, I don't know. But you can mix and match there with Dahlback and him. I wonder what happens with Cordero now. It's going to be interesting. If we take a look right now, you have Hosmer in at first. And then as of right now, where Dahlback is still on the bench. And then what happened with Franchi, man? Today was a whirlwind. Oh, they optioned him, yeah. So, okay, I didn't even see that. It's just been absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I figured he was going to be the odd man out. So, well, there you go. That's basically what it's going to be. And there you go. So, but what I like here is the Red Sox, they continue to just add prospects. That is what Chaim Bloom is doing. He is just adding talent just anywhere he can. And he took advantage of this situation. So, Riley Turner, what's going on, my friend? The contract is what kills his value. He's solid. Yeah, I mean, honestly, now that the Padres are paying most of his contract, I mean, as you can see here, he was negative 35.2. They're paying 36. So, Hosmer right now you are no longer underwater on Hosmer. He is basically just taking up a roster spot right now. You're paying him basically worth what he's doing. So, you know, let's see if Hosmer can turn it around, man. I'm excited to see it. But this ended up clearing the way for Josh Bell. And let's actually go take a look at the Padres lineup now. I mean, this is just pretty fun to look at right now. They also got Brandon Drury. I forgot to make a slide for that. But there's just so much going on. I was going live and I'm like, crap, I didn't make a little picture for Brandon Drury. That was an under the radar kind of a move. Drury has been a guy that's been out there. Teams have been showing a lot of interest, and they got him too. It's like, holy cow. I mean, this is nuts. Like, and then you're gonna get Tatis Jr. back soon. This is dumb. Like, the Padres offense has been kind of middle of the road all year. And holy cow, man, this is crazy. Like, absolutely nuts, man. The pitching, I don't think you really needed to do anything. I was wondering if they were going to use Snell in some kind of a trade today. Kind of felt like I wonder if he would be like this odd man out kind of a thing, or if they could get someone, maybe they would want to have Snell come back. And I was wondering if he was going to get moved. But, I mean, they added Hader yesterday. I mean, I'm not just saying this because of Soto, but, I mean, I think you have to call the Padres the winners. Because it wasn't just Soto. They got everyone. They got Hader. I mean, you didn't just get Soto. You got Bell, too. You got Drury. I mean, you got to call the Padres the winners of the deadline. I don't see how else you can go. I mean, there are other teams that did really good. I think if you had the tier maker, I think you would put the Padres in the S tier, and then you would put some of these other teams, like we were talking about the Twins. I'm going to get to a couple other teams here, but like the Twins would be an A for me. The Padres are just easily like an S+. Like, unbelievable. So, this is going to be really fun to watch. And, I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? For the Red Sox, kind of going over the Red Sox here, they did I think, a decent retool. They were able to add prospects. No, like, really amazing prospects, but they added a couple in the Vasquez trade. They added a couple here in the Hosmer trade. You know, they added 4 prospects. You know, who knows? Maybe they could end up doing something. A couple of the guys they got from the Astros, they're having pretty good seasons in the minors. You know, there's some upside here with the Padres prospects that they got. And also they kept JD Martinez. I really thought Martinez was gone. I really did. I thought he was gone. Good as gone. And he ended up staying. You know, same thing with the Cubs. Ended up keeping Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ. I was surprised. Maybe more so with Contreras. But then, or more so with Happ. Not really Contreras so much. Because you got to remember here, when it comes to catchers, it's hard to move a catcher in the middle of the season because there's a lot of preparation that goes into scouting reports, learning your pitchers. It's not an easy move, right? Now, someone like Christian Vasquez, I'm not surprised he got moved because he is really detail-oriented, very much so like how Jason Varitek was. So Christian Vasquez, I think they thought, okay, he can catch on to what we're doing here pretty quick. So Wilson Contreras, on the other hand, he's not really a Christian Vasquez. Contreras is more of a bat first kind of a catcher. He plays some good defense back there, but when I'm thinking of a guy that's like a general, right, in that field, Christian Vasquez, and maybe I'm being a little biased, but Vasquez is just such an uber prepared guy, very detail oriented. He's the guy that he's there early and he leaves late. Now, I'm not saying Contreras is not that. I'm just saying Vasquez, I would kind of trust him a little bit more when it came to handling a pitching staff and whatnot. Contreras, I would want his bat. So with Contreras, man, I'm not surprised he ended up staying. I wonder if the Cubs ended up signing him to an extension. I really do. Ian Happ, I thought he could get moved. I really did. But I think that just goes to show, look out for the Cubs. Look out for the Cubs in the offseason. I think if they make a couple of moves, they could end up being maybe a pretty decent team next year. You're still going to have Happ, and maybe they can get Contreras signed up to an extension. They basically just traded their best guys out of that bullpen. So the Cubs will be an interesting team in the offseason. So we're going to have to wait and see. But as for the Red Sox, I just think they did a pretty decent retool. You traded Vasquez. You replaced both his bat and his glove with two separate players in Tommy Pham and Reese McGuire yesterday. Then you brought in Hosmer. Now you have a little more stability. You just got Devers back too. You know, the Red Sox right now, I mean, the catching position, now it's basically going to be a platoon. Plawecki, that I'm sure they're just going to bounce back and forth. But Reese McGuire is more of the backup, in my opinion, plays great defense. So it'll be interesting what ends up happening here. I like how the Red Sox lineup looks. You know, I think it has some thump to it. And Hosmer, I think, could be really interesting. So for the rotation, I was wondering if Eovaldi could have gotten moved. I was thinking they were going to hang on to him in the end. I've been thinking that from the start because the Red Sox, they want to compete. And to me, if you're trading Eovaldi, you're trading away one of your best pitchers. And he doesn't have a lot of value because, you know, he's had injury history. He's going to be a free agent. He's getting paid a bit. So Eovaldi didn't have too much of a value. So I didn't see him moving. I really did see Eovaldi staying. But, like, they didn't really add anything for the pitching. That's kind of where I felt like the Red Sox needed to address their team. And they didn't really do that. I mean, you're going to get, hopefully you get Sale back at some point. Waka, I mean, Paxton. I don't know. I like what the Red Sox did by retooling their position players, but your pitching is still I feel like you needed something there. So I was a little surprised. Like, I really thought Blake Snell could have been a guy that they could have gotten. I really did. I thought he could have come back in that Hosmer trade. If the Padres were, I mean, who knows? Obviously, well, they didn't want to get rid of him in the end, but I thought Snell could have been a guy. You know, Chaim Bloom, obviously knowing Snell from his time with the Rays. Chaim Bloom, he likes to bring those Rays players back to the, you know, back into his system. So I thought Snell could have been a guy that the Red Sox maybe would have gotten. And I felt like that would have been a decent boost for the rotation. Much better FIP than the ERA this year. So anyway, but for the Red Sox, you know, the pitching, I'm still not high on it. But, you know, I like what they did. In the end, they added prospects. So that's what you got for what Chaim Bloom is trying to do. He achieved his goal. Did he achieve everything he wanted to do? I would probably say no. I'm sure there was some stuff left on the table. I'm sure he's probably like, man, I wish I got that one done. Or, man, maybe we had a shot at that. I'm sure there was. If you were to ask Chaim, you know, over a beer or something, I'm sure he would have said, yeah, we were getting a little close on this one, but it felt like there was a little something left off the table. I felt like there could have been something else they could have done. I mean, you got Hosmer, but it just felt like just something was missing. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, Hosmer going to the Red Sox and Juan Soto going to the Padres. We all know, hey, Hosmer, a championship kind of a move. You know, Soto's all right, I guess. Soto's okay. But let's go to the next story. Let's go to the next story here. And again, Padres getting Brandon Drury. I didn't really talk about that one too much, but I love that. I love that. Drury's having a great year. I mean, you're just adding bats, and he adds versatility to your team. So I think that's fantastic. So let's move on here. Let's move on. We're talking about the Red Sox, and we talked about the Cardinals earlier, not getting Soto. Let's talk about the Yankees and the Cardinals. Let's talk about the trade that they made today. I love this trade. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. I love it for the Yankees. I love it for the Cardinals. I thought this was great. And I saw a lot of Yankee fans out there just completely hating this. So, and I understand why. I understand why they would not like getting Bader. I understand getting rid of Montgomery. That's a good arm for you this year. He has a year of control for next year. But here's the thing, everyone. I'm going to try and convince this. Brandon Dillman, and I got an answer for you right there. Bader has not done all that great with the bat. You're not bringing Bader in for the bat. Absolutely not. You're bringing this guy in for the glove, and you're bringing this guy in for the speed. I understand he's dealing with some plantar fasciitis right now. I get that. But do you really think the Yankees would have traded for this guy if they thought that was going to be a problem? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way, Jose. Brian Cashman? Do you realize? You all know how stubborn Brian Cashman has been in the past. I mean, my goodness. I mean, Yankee fans have been screaming from the mountaintops, Brian Cashman, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. And then he does something. Do you really think he would get Bader if he thought he was going to be hurt for this year? He's going to come back. He's going to be fine. They obviously felt comfortable enough to get him. They wouldn't have done this if they didn't think he was going to be okay, right? They got Frankie Montas yesterday. I understand Severino, he's on the IL. I get that. You know, they're dealing with some injuries, but the Yankees, here's the thing with the Yankees. They're already there. They're already in the playoffs. They are 12 games up on the Blue Jays in the division. They're done. They're the number 1 seed. It's over. Done. Kaput. End of story. Checkmate. Done. Would you like the check? Over. Kaput. It's over. They won the division. It's done. They're the number 1 seed. They are looking to build a team for the playoffs. What do you need in the playoffs? You need pitching. Here are my things that you need for a championship team. Here it is. You need starting pitching. You need a couple of guys that are going to get it done atop the rotation. You need a bullpen that is going to come up clutch. You need variety in that bullpen. You need lefties that can come in certain spots. But also, your team needs to have a strong spine. What does that mean? Up the middle defense, catcher, second base, shortstop, center field. Harrison Bader is one of the best defensive center fielders out there. Yes, I know he's on the IL right now. I get that, but he's going to be back. He's going to be fine. Harrison Bader is a game changer in center field. And let me actually show you kind of what I'm talking about here. Why is he going to help this Yankee team? Well, if you take a look right now, when it comes to the Yankees, with center field defense, right? If we go to the advanced defensive numbers, the Yankees, as of right now, in defense in center field, rank 18th. They have a negative 2.1 UZR. They've been throwing Judge out there. Judge is not a center fielder. He can do it. But listen, I don't want Judge in center field. If I'm the manager, I want Judge in right. I want him in right and DHing, right? This is a guy that's had some problems with the body. You know, he was fully healthy last year. He's been healthy this year, having a historic season. I don't want Judge running around in center field. I don't want it. I want him in right. I want him in one of the corners. The Yankees are 18th in center field defense this year. Harrison Bader, on the other hand, if we take a look, Harrison Bader, now his defense is a little down compared to what he's been doing. Harrison Bader this year is 18th in defense. His UZR is a 3.7. That UZR, as of right now, ranks 6. That's what the Yankees need. They need a guy that is going to get the routine play done out in center field at a better rate. They're not getting that with Aaron Hicks. They're not getting... Judge has been decent. But Bader is going to be the guy that puts your center field defense over the top. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. I think it's a great move. I think it's an awesome move. And I had another... there's one Red Sox fan who's on Twitter. I don't know. He just comes out of nowhere. He's always just like, "Oh, this is a horrible move." Like, I don't know. He's just like one of those. He's just one of those negative Twitter people all the time. I forget his name on Twitter. He came after me on that one. This is one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Really? It's one of the worst trades you've ever seen? I mean, what the heck are you talking about, dude? One of the worst trades you've ever seen? You're out of your mind. And the only reason you're saying it because you're just a biased Red Sox fan. Listen, I'm going to support my Red Sox until the day I die. But I have seen so many good Yankee teams over the years. I'm not going to sit here and sound like I'm Gandalf the Grey, like I've been around for, since 1910. But I've seen a lot of good Yankee teams going back now for a little while, 25 years. So I respect the Yankees. To me, I'm not going to sit here and just just tear down everything that they do. You got, this one guy I'm talking about around Twitter. He just, if they do anything, they could go out, they could have traded for Juan Soto, and he could have been like, "Oh, no, horrible. No, why would the Yankees do that? Blah, blah, blah." It's just like, whatever. So, this was a good trade. You ended up getting Frankie Montas, and yes, he's had some shoulder stuff, but he looks like he's been all right. Looks like everything is going okay there. Herman, yeah, I understand. Herman is not really going to be a guy that puts you over the edge there. I understand losing Montgomery. That's a little tough pill to swallow. But here's the thing. I'm just saying here, do you really want Jordan Montgomery starting Game 3 for you in the playoffs? I like what he does in the regular season. Do I want Jordan Montgomery going up against the Blue Jays in a playoff series? No. What the heck? No, I don't want that. I want Montas. I want Cole, Montas, and Cortez. That's my three right there if I'm the Yankees. I don't want Montgomery starting a playoff game. Yeah, he's good. But I don't know. Come on. Montgomery's a great guy to have in your rotation through the year. He can come in spots in the playoffs. He can help you out, but I want studs, man. That's what I want. And they felt like he was expendable because the Yankees needed to improve center field. You got Aaron Hicks out here. And Aaron Hicks, by the way, this is a guy that's been made of glass. You don't know how he's going to do. He's been slumping lately. He has not been doing all that good. He's had a good on-base percentage all year. But, I'm just saying. Aaron Hicks, this guy has been hurt so much. But Harrison Bader, man, that's a game changer. That's a guy, the Yankees right now, this is a good team. This is a good all-around team. I love what the Yankees did in the past couple of days. Fantastic. You have done everything you can to go win a championship. Brian Cashman has done everything that you could do. And I don't want to see any more criticism of Brian Cashman. This dude has done what he needed to do. I'm just saying. You added Andrew Benintendi. You've added Harrison Bader, who's going to take your center field defense, which is one of the most important positions defensively on your team. Just saying. He improved that defense immensely. You don't need Harrison Bader's bat. You got bats all over the place. You added Benintendi. My goodness. You got Kiner Falefa, who's playing good defense. Trevino, he's been solid. You got Higashioka as well. It's a great team. This is really good. When Bader's back, this is a complete team. You got Cole, Montas, and Cortez for games 1, 2, and 3 in the playoffs. It's fantastic. You added Scott Effross to the setup role. Lou Trevino, who has better advanced numbers than what the surface numbers are. This is a fantastic deadline for the Yankees. If the Padres didn't do all that they did, the Yankees are the winners of this deadline. I'm just saying. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to have these, these Red Sox fans out there who just live to complain on Twitter, say, oh, horrible move. Oh, terrible. I don't know what you're talking about. Go have a sandwich. Go have some ice cream. Start to respect this team. They're good. That's why I picked them the past couple of years to win, because I thought they were pretty good too. But this team, oh boy, this is a really good looking team. Now, yeah, the question is, can they stay healthy? To me, the Yankees are already there. It's already done. You just got to play good enough baseball. I mean, how many more games you got? What have you played? 104 games. So you're at 58 games left. So the Yankees could go, 27-27 the rest of the way, and they're still going to win 97 games. That's probably going to be enough to have the number 1 seed. If we were to go to the standings as of right now. What do we got here? I mean, the Astros are at 67. So I wouldn't necessarily put it in the bag. So they're probably going to have to play a little better than 500. Probably going to have to play a little better. So the Astros are going to be right there. But I think the Yankees, they don't need to just go on a complete tear for the rest of the year. Just play well, but you're gonna have to manage these injuries a little bit. Yes, Bader, I understand. Plantar fasciitis that's not the easiest thing to come back from. It's not. That can be a nagging kind of a thing. So, especially for a player that's on his feet so much. Obviously someone like Bader. But, dude, that guy's an athlete. I think he's going to end up being fine. So, the Yankees, they're just going to have to just get to the end of the season. They've been playing great. Honestly, this Yankees team, they should win over 100 games. Absolutely. They could go 27-27 the rest of the way, if I'm doing my math right, and they finish with 97 wins at minimum. So, and they're probably going to finish with a better, they're probably going to go better than 500 the rest of the way. Also, you know what? I'm sorry. I've been talking about the Yankees here. Let me come back. Let me talk about the Cardinals. Sorry about that. I'm talking so much about the Yankees. Let's talk about the Cardinals. I love this for the Cardinals. You needed pitching. You needed it. Absolutely. I mean, now this rotation, all of a sudden, there was like 3 guys in this rotation at one point. Now, all of a sudden, it's looking nice and full. You got Montgomery today. You got Quintana yesterday. This is fantastic. This is great. Wainwright, Michaelis, Hudson, Montgomery, Quintana. This is great. This is awesome. For the Cardinals, I mean, man, oh man, you needed pitching, and you got the pitching. This is great, man. Absolutely. I mean, the offense was already good. Maybe Juan Soto would have been pretty nice, but I like the Cardinals. I do. I think they could have. You did add Chris Stratton. The FIP is a little better than the ERA, so I think they could do something with him. I think you could have added another reliever somewhere. But I like this Cardinals team moving forward. We take a look at the standings as of right now. Taking a look at the NL Central. Here we go. So the Cardinals as of right now, where are we at? So they're 3 back of the Brewers. They could do it. The Brewers have made some moves too. They made a couple of moves. But to me, I really like what the Cardinals did. They got some depth for the rest of the way. Man, oh man. I like what the Cardinals did, man. Montgomery was a solid add. Let me actually go back here. Let me go back to the Cardinals. Let me actually pull up Montgomery's numbers. And again, I'm not trying to, dismiss what this guy has done by saying, like, I wouldn't mind him in the playoffs. I don't know. Just with Montgomery, I'm just like, eh. Like, he's a guy that the thing with Montgomery, he always has a bit of a tough time going deeper into games. He doesn't strike out a whole ton of guys. His strikeouts are down from last year. His walks are down too. But he's not really a guy that, like, I'm like, oh man, like game 3 of the ALCS, like, oh yeah, Jordan Montgomery. Oh yeah, I want that guy.
Like, no, come on. Who's saying that? Come on. What do you want? You want? I'd rather go with Cortez in that spot. I mean, come on now. But Montgomery's nice. I think he is going to serve the Cardinals better than what he would do for the Yankees. He would obviously be a good depth piece for the Yankees the rest of the way. But I think the Yankees needed more center field defense because they had enough pitching to handle that workload. All right, Montgomery, yes, he was going to give you some innings, but they needed center field defense. That's what they needed. The Cardinals, they needed pitching. It was a great trade for both sides. I understand. Bader's hurt. He's going to be back. Calm your cheeks. Calm your cheeks. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Great trade for both sides. Absolutely great trade. And if you don't think it is, like that one Red Sox fan on Twitter who's always wants to come after me if he disagrees, eat my shorts. Here we go. Moving on. Let's talk about let's keep talking about the Yankees, shall we? How about Joey Gallo? Joey Gallo going to the Dodgers. I mean, hey, Joey Gallo's a lightning rod, man. He's a lightning rod. Anytime he's in the news, you're going to talk about him. So let's go talk about him. Here we go. Alrighty. Let's pull this up. Also, I didn't show the trade earlier with Bader and Montgomery. I mean, look how even this is. 13.5 for the Yankees, 14.4 for the Cardinals. Absolutely. Very good. Joey Gallo going to the Dodgers. I've found it interesting. The Dodgers, they were obviously Juan Soto. They were going after him. That obviously fell through. And then you were starting to see reports of Ian Happ possibly as an option. That ended up not working out as well. So they ended up just going with a really out-of-the-box solution here. They went with Joey Gallo. So really, they got him for... You did get Clayton Beeter. This was a guy they drafted a couple of years ago, back in 2020. Clayton Beeter's a decent prospect for the Yankees. You just unloaded Waldichuk and Wesneski from your farm. And hey, Beeter's a pretty decent option here. If we actually go to the Yankees top prospects here, taking a look. As of right now, he's the number 10 right now. So I thought and it's funny because I remember going back to some of those mock drafts. I thought Clayton Beeter could have been a guy that the Yankees could have gotten. He kind of matches what they tend to like. Good fastball, good curveball. Not like a whole lot going on with him, but he hasn't been doing very well with the Dodgers, but the Yankees see something with him. He had a decent year last year, but his ERA is up to almost a 6 this year over 18 games. But he is striking out a lot of guys. 88 strikeouts, 51 and 2/3 innings. So that's pretty good. Clayton Beeter, man. I thought that was a nice ad. I mean, to me, I think it was, you swapped a guy that needed to get out of there, and you got a guy that probably needed a new system to work in because he wasn't doing anything for you. So, hey, I thought it was good. You know, and if you go to the Padres, or not the Padres, if you go to the Dodgers, let's go to the Dodgers here. So, I mean, Gallo, he is, right now, I mean, they're putting him as their left fielder. So, honestly, I mean, the Dodgers, they have taken guys in, and they haven't really been able to figure it out with Bellinger, but the Dodgers are really good at player development. They've had more success than they've had guys not working out. I think Gallo could be a really interesting piece. I mean, look what happened with Pujols. They took in Pujols last year. He ended up being pretty decent. So, I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it couldn't hurt. It's not going to hurt you. But I think Gallo really did need to get out of there. I think he needed a change of scenery. Absolutely. If there's any player that needed a change of scenery, it was him. I was feeling bad for the guy, man. I remember when the Yankees got him. There was so much excitement over him. And, man, you know, I feel bad. I really hope he can revitalize his career. He just needs to get back to the place where he was before. He is going to be a free agent. I wonder if he ends up maybe signing back with the Rangers. I could see something like that. Help out the Dodgers for the rest of the year. And I could definitely see him maybe going back to Texas. I wonder. If I were to make a prediction right now, I would say he ends up just signing back with Texas. So, but for the Dodgers, hey, you know, little move right there. if you can get this guy back on track, you can reap the benefits. We're going to have to wait and see. Moving on here. Let's start talking about some of these teams, okay? I really liked what the Twins did today. I really did. I really liked what the Twins did. The Twins needed to add pitching. Their starting pitching was just, to me, a little thin. And let's go take a look at the Twins as of right now. Alrighty, let's go to the Twins. Minnesota. Where are we at? Here we go. So Molly. I mean, listen here. Molly's not going to be like a game changer kind of a guy, but he's a really solid piece. And now your rotation just looks full. It just looks good. It has some beef to it. Molly is a guy. I've been saying he's a great fit for the Minnesota Twins. I've been saying that for a while now. They have good outfield defense. He's a fly ball guy. I think it's just a nice fit. And now if you go into the playoffs, if they get there, you're going to have a pretty decent little rotation here. You got Gray, Molly, Joe Ryan. He's been having himself a pretty good year. Bundy and Archer, I wouldn't really count on those guys. But you're going to have Gray, Molly, and Ryan for the playoffs. I mean, is that going to be enough to get by some teams? I don't know. Who knows, I don't know. If they were going up against the Yankees in a series, I mean, I'm probably picking the Yankees. But to me, they're giving themselves a better chance. And that's what I like. They're putting themselves in a better spot. And I really like that. So, Molly, I thought was a solid add. If we take a look at his numbers for this year. Here we go. So, the ERA is a 4.4, but the FIP is a 3.6. So, very good. Very good. I think he's just a solid addition. He just always seemed to be a nice fit with the Twins. But what the Twins also did, they added Jorge Lopez. Fantastic. The Orioles closer. I almost said Oreos. Did I say Oreos? Orioles. Did I say Orioles? Or did I say Oreos? Oh, boy. I don't even know what I said. Here we go. Jorge Lopez. He has been awesome going to the with the Orioles. He's been fantastic. 1.68 ERA, a 2.99 FIP, 19 saves. This guy was, not working out as a starter, went to the bullpen, and he has just been, really good. I could see Orioles fans being a little disappointed in that. Absolutely. But in the end, the Orioles, I feel like I'm saying Oreo. No, I said Orioles there. Why am I almost saying Oreos? I'm obese. Here we go. Jorge Lopez, fantastic addition. The Twins have had one of the worst farm systems. Or what am I saying? They've had one of the worst bullpens in Major League Baseball this year. I am getting tired here. The first day back at work is already killing my brain. But let's go here to the rankings and take a look. The Twins this year have the 29th ranked bullpen according to Fangraphs. It's kind of, it's weird because the strikeouts are okay. The walks are fine. They could be a little lower. The home runs, I would like it to be a little lower. The ERA is not bad. The FIP is a 4.22. XFIP is okay, but they just haven't really just been like an effective bullpen this year. They've just been flat. I don't know. But they added something here with Lopez. And you got Fulmer too. I love that. You got Fulmer and Lopez for the back end. I love what the Twins did. They just put themselves in a great spot. They just did what they needed to do. I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. They just went out and they did their job. That was what they needed. They needed a starter, and they needed something or two for the bullpen. And they did that, and they got some really good options. So, hey, the Twins, they got a thumbs up from me on this deadline. Let's go to another team that also did some damage. And actually, really quick, before I do move on, I just want to go over the trades. As you can see here, this trade was approved by Baseball Trade Values. $22.9 million going to the Twins, $18.4 going to the Reds, and that was approved. If we take a look for Fulmer, This was also approved. Gibson Long going back to the Tigers, 0.9 million. Fulmer, 2.4. The Twins did a great job. And here was the Lopez trade. The Twins did have to give up a few pieces, but for the Orioles, you know, you added a few pitchers here, maybe some lower level pitchers, but whatever. I mean, hey, you got to remember Lopez, 28 years old. He's not a spring chicken. I'm not saying he's old by any means, but he's 28. You got to cash in on that value while you can. He hasn't really had a track record. Who knows? Maybe next year he ends up just kind of falling off the face of the planet. You don't know. So you got to cash in on him while his value's high. That's the point. The Twins here, they cashed in on him when his value, at least as of right now, it's at an all-time high. Could it end up getting higher? Sure, but you don't know that. So you might as well cash in while you can. And for the Orioles, they have a vision of the future. So, moving on. Here we go. Let's go to the Phillies. What a day for the Phillies. Great day for the Phillies. Man, they got Syndergaard. I called it. Called Syndergaard to the Phillies. I'm excited about that. That's fantastic. He's going to go up against the Mets at some point, I hope. You got Brandon Marsh, a young center fielder. They have been needing a center fielder for a while, and they got it done with a young guy who hasn't really put it together with the Angels. He's been okay, better with the defense, but they also added David Robertson. What a day. Great day. Let's go to this. Noah Syndergaard here. You basically got him for nothing. Got him for nothing. You gave up Mickey Moniak, who's just been a complete bust, and Jadiel Sanchez. Here was the trade. You ended up really giving up nothing for him. The Blue Jays were in on those talks, and in the end, the Phillies, they came out winners. They were looking for starting pitching, and they got it done, man. Let's go take a look at what the Phillies are looking like. The Phillies right now, man, that rotation is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Aaron Nola, Wheeler, Syndergaard. Hey, I've been screaming Syndergaard to the Phillies now for like the past week. I've been thinking, man, the Phillies, they don't got much of a farm. And there you go. That's the kind of a guy they were going to be able to afford in terms of value. They weren't going to be able to go out and get someone like a Pablo Lopez. Even someone like a Jordan Montgomery. You could have gotten him, but it was way cheaper to get Syndergaard. They don't have a lot of prospects to give up. So we will get to one prospect that they did ship out. But I love Syndergaard for this Phillies rotation. I think it's nice. It just gives him another option. He's proven he's healthy this year. He's been doing good. I like this a lot. But moving on to the other trade here, Brandon Marsh. This was a little out of nowhere, but I like this for both sides because both teams got something that they needed. The Angels, they didn't have a catcher really that they could turn to for the future. And Marsh was a guy, wasn't really, look at the Red Sox. Pulling out another win. Man, oh man, my Red Sox are coming for all of you. They're coming for you. They're coming for that wild card spot. We're going to get it done. Hosmer is leading us to the promised land. Man, oh man. But Brandon Marsh, he hasn't really been doing all that much. Defensively, he is really going to help the Phillies, and I like that. I'm a sucker for defense. But this year with Marsh, 226, a 284 on base, 353 slugging. Granted, he's in his second year, but I like it for the Phillies, man. I like it. In a way, he kind of reminds me of not really. I don't know why. He kind of gives me those vibes like an Aaron Rowan. Aaron Rowan. I don't know why. He gives me those vibes. He just feels like a Philly. Just good fit. I don't know. I can't even put my finger on it, but I like it for the Phillies. Either way, their situation in center field has just been I don't know what's going on with them in center field, but they got their guy. This is a guy they can turn to now for the next little while. So hopefully he can end up they can end up getting a lot out of him. But for the Angels, I like that they got Logan O'Hoppe. I like that. So here is the trade. So as you can see, I think this was just the trade. I was looking to see if there were any other pieces added in from the Angels side, or from the Phillies side, sorry. But it looks like I'm not finding anything else, unless someone else is seeing something. I don't think there's any cash involved. I mean, I don't see why, because he's not on a big contract. But so yeah, I guess this was the trade. I thought maybe there would be someone else, but there you go. The Angels, so with Marsh, so if you take a look here, Marsh has not been doing all that well. So maybe you could say he's as low as a 26, right? But then with O'Hoppe, if you take a look at him, let's go to him here. Let's go to the Phillies. Oh, he's not there anymore, so he's going to be on the Angels. Not the Royals. Here we go. So right away, O'Hoppe is the number one prospect. So he's been doing good this year in the minors in Double-A. 275, a 392 on base, 496 slugging, 15 homers, 15 RBIs. Good arm. He's good in the field. This is the Angels' future catcher. And they didn't really have a guy that was going to be there for the future. You had someone like Edgar Quero, but he's further away. He's 19 years old. But I like this for the Angels. So I was saying here, Marsh, you could go as low as 26. And the Angels probably valued him a little bit more at 25.2. So to me, I think, yeah, it's 35 or 32.5 to 21 right now. But I think it ends up being a little more even than you might think. I like it. I think it's a good deal. I think they provide needs in different ways for each of these teams. The Angels need a future catcher. They weren't doing anything this year. Marsh is just going to be whatever, with them. But the Phillies needed him. The Phillies, you have JT Realmuto. I was wondering, because I did say on a prior stream, either last night or a couple nights ago, I can't remember, but I was wondering if, maybe you'd want to hang on to O'Hoppe, But then again, I kind of thought about it. I'm like, well, you got JT Realmuto for the next 4 years. But, O'Hoppe, maybe that could be a guy that can end up taking over down the road. I just don't want to part with, because catchers are hard to come by. When you got a good one in your system, it kind of hurts to get rid of that. So for Phillies fans, I could see you being a little, being a little tough to part with him. But in the end, you have a playoff team this year. You got Marsh for center field, and Marsh is 24 years old. So I like it. I like it for the Phillies. But they also got David Robertson. They added a piece to that bullpen. The bullpen has improved a lot this year. They've had their ups and downs, but overall, the Phillies bullpen has been pretty solid. In the end, you got him for pitching prospect Ben Brown. Here was the deal. This was as close to dead even as you could get. Ben Brown with a $2.4 million, and then Robertson with 2.5. Brown could go as low as 1.9. Robertson could be 2. Brown could go as high as 2.9, and then you could go high as 3 for Robertson. So this is as even of a trade as you could get. So Robertson is going to be great for this lineup, man. Or sorry, for the bullpen. Let's go to the Phillies. So yeah, Robertson right now, that's your closer. And they got a lot of pieces here, man. Got a lot of pieces. This is great. I think it's, I really like what the Phillies did. You added a center fielder. You added a rotation guy. You added a back end of the bullpen kind of a guy. I love it. I think it's awesome. I think the Phillies are setting themselves up, man. Now, let's see if they got to hang on to that wild card spot. Got to hang on to it. There's some competition there. Matthew Parker, $4.99 Super Chat. What do you think the Red Sox do at catcher for the future? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think right now, Kevin Plawecki is going to be a free agent after this year. To me, that's not really a guy that I think... you could bring him back as maybe a backup, but... I don't know. You got Hernandez there in the minors. You got Wong. Could they end up going that route? Maybe give Connor Wong the reins. You brought him in the Mookie Betts deal. Maybe see what he can do. But then again, they also traded for Hernandez. You know, I wonder. I think that's going to be one of the more interesting stories of the offseason. How are the Red Sox going to address catcher in the future? I don't know if the Red Sox will do it. I've wondered what Chaim Bloom has actually thought of Christian Vasquez now, because Christian Vasquez had been on the rumor mill for the last couple of years. His name was always popping up in trade rumors, so I always wondered, you know, what Chaim Bloom actually thought of Christian Vasquez. I don't know. It was just weird how he was always up in trade rumors. As soon as Bloom got there, too. You never heard Christian Vasquez as a possible, you know, trade chip until Bloom got there. So I wonder what Bloom actually thinks of him. I don't know. But could you end up bringing Christian Vasquez back? He loves the Red Sox. It's the only organization he played for. Could he end up coming back? It's possible. I wouldn't discount it. I'm going to be honest. I think right now, I mean, if you go to, hold on, let me go to 2022 or 2023 MLB free agents. Who are some catchers on the market? My gut right now is telling me that they probably just go internally, because you got Hernandez and Wong that are as close as can be. Oh, that's a closer. I want to go catcher. Who are the catchers? So you got Gary Sanchez. Oh, my God. Don't tell me Chaim Bloom is going to bring in Gary Sanchez. No. Don't tell me Bloom's going to do that. There are some guys out here. Because you don't forget, you're going to have Reese McGuire. So that's a guy I think is going to be on your bench. But if you had a starter, I mean, could you maybe do someone like I don't know, one of these guys? Wilson Contreras, maybe. I don't think Gary Sanchez is going to be that guy. But, God, I could totally see Bloom like doing something like that. Because he loves those power bats. He loves a right-handed power bat. I wonder if he ends up bringing in Sanchez. Again, you could also bring in Christian Vasquez. There's Mike Zunino. That's interesting. Joe Girardi hater. Vin Scully passed. Oh, really? Oh, man. Legend. Vin Scully was awesome, man. Oh. Wow. Just announced like a few minutes ago. Wow. Vin Scully, you got to say the GOAT. You got to say the GOAT, man, of broadcasters. He was fantastic. Just would always tell a great story. You know, you just like listening to him. You know, he was so calm. You know, just so nice to listen to. Always. He was one of the GOATs, man. That's awful. Wow. That's crazy. 94 years old. Long life. A long, happy life. Man, he was with the Dodgers for so long. Man. The Dodgers, man, they are going to go all out when it comes to showing their respects to him. I wouldn't be surprised if they got patches, you know, for their jerseys and stuff. Kind of like what the Red Sox did with Jerry Remy. I mean, I would imagine they're going to be doing stuff like that. They're going to go all out in this, man, because he deserves it. Absolutely. Vin Scully, one of the GOATs. If you are just joining us, Vin Scully, has passed away. 94. A long life. One of the best broadcasters of all time. Man. I'd actually probably say the best of all time. Vin Scully, he was different. I'm not going to sit here and say I listen to Dodger games all the time, but I've heard many clips with him. He was just nice to listen to. Like, you could sit there and you could watch a game, or even if you had it as background noise, it was just really nice. Like, it was comforting. It was soft. It was just nice. You know, like I can't even. But he told great stories all the time. He was very personable with the players. You know, he always had a great story to tell. You know, he made you feel like, you know, it kind of reminds me of this, right? I went to a baseball game when I was in high school. I skipped school one day to go to a game. Don't tell my parents. But I remember I went alone, and I sat next to an older man, and you know, and this guy, he just sat and talked to me the entire time. And it was really comforting, and it was just like cool. He's telling me all these stories. That's how Vince Scully kind of made me think. You know, like he was a guy. He felt like he was kind of sitting with you and watching the game. You know, like he wasn't just talking to you. It felt like he was talking with you. You know, that's how it felt. It felt like he was right there in your living room, and he was just watching the game with you. You know, so yeah, Vince Scully, man, rest in peace. Fantastic. One of the best, if not the best of all time. Vince Scully, man, rest in peace. 94 years old, man. 94 years old. But moving on. Thank you, Joe Girardi hater, for that. I wouldn't have even pulled that up. So, but for the Red Sox, getting back to the other super chat here, it's going to be interesting. I would imagine they're probably going to turn to maybe someone like Wong or Hernandez. Those guys are pretty close. So it'll be interesting. But getting back here, I love what the Phillies did. I think they had a great deadline. I think they did great. So here we go. Moving on. We have talked about the Twins. We talked about the Phillies and the Blue Jays. They actually made a move today. I didn't even see it until later on. I did not even notice it. It was Whit Merrifield. I had no idea. I'm not even kidding. I saw the Anthony Bass one. I did not even see the Whit Merrifield one until later on. And I'm like, oh, wow, they got Merrifield. I just completely missed it. And there were so many things happening. I'm like, what the heck? Whit Merrifield? Like, what? So, but taking a look here, it's funny. You finally trade Whit Merrifield. Unbelievable. You finally got it done. I feel like this guy's been in the rumors now for what feels like forever. But taking a look here, Whit Merrifield going to the Blue Jays. In return, going back to the Royals, you had Max Castillo and Samad Taylor. So, man. In the end, Whit Merrifield, he has not really had a great year. He's just been down this year, but he still offers you that versatility. As you can see here, his value is down to a 1. But, hey, the Blue Jays, they ended up giving a little more than what he was worth. They ended up giving up Castillo, lower level pitching prospect in a 20 to 30 range. So gave up someone like Taylor, infield prospect. So they gave up a little for him. But Merrifield, I think what he's going to end up doing, he's just going to give you some versatility. He's just going to give you a little something there, give you some speed as well. With Merrifield, right? Like I said, he's got the versatility. So I think in the end, the Blue Jays, I feel like, have done pretty good when it comes to health. I feel like they haven't had a lot of injuries this year. But Merrifield is just going to give you another option. And that's another thing, too. They're very, righty-lefty. Like, everyone in the lineup is a righty, and then everyone on the bench was a lefty. So Merrifield is someone that is going to be a right-handed bat off the bench. Now, and he can just go slot in when you need him. So Merrifield this year, he's just had a down year. So if this was a couple of years ago, oh yeah, this would be awesome. So taking a look at what he did back in 2020, he was hitting 282, 440 slugging. I thought he was going to get traded that year, and then last year he stole 40 bases. So, but now his offense is really tanking. It's just he's not really doing all that much. But for the Blue Jays, love the Anthony Bass move. Love that. I would have liked it. I had in my one trade for each team by the deadline, I had the Blue Jays getting Joe Mantiply. I thought they could have used a lefty in there. They are still pretty thin when it comes to lefties. You got Meza and Gage, but hey, Bass, this is a guy who's having a pretty good season with the Marlins. They needed an arm. The Blue Jays bullpen has not been that great, and Bass, he's been one of the better guys. If we actually take a look at the power rankings this year, for relievers, he's 38th overall in the reliever power rankings. So Gotta love that. Anthony Bass, a 1.41 ERA, 2.06 FIP, over 44 and 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts over 9, 2 walks over 9. He's barely giving up any home runs, averaging 95 miles an hour with the fastball. Anthony Bass, man, he's a solid addition for this bullpen. Whit Merrifield, fine, I think that's okay. It never hurts to add a guy that has versatility, that can be on your bench. I like the Anthony Bass move a lot more. I think you just needed a guy for this bullpen. You got Romano Garcia back there. Garcia's been doing pretty well. Romano, he's been doing good this year. But Bass, he's just another solid option back there. So the Blue Jays, they're looking a lot better now. Looking a lot better. I think they're going to be good for the rest of this second half. And you got to like what they did. Speaking of bullpens, how about the Atlanta Braves? They ended up trading Will Smith yesterday. My goodness, you got brought in Jake Odorizzi, you also brought in Robbie Grossman, and now today, Raisel Iglesias going to the Braves. Ooh, love this, man. Love this. This is great. So taking a look. Actually, let me see here if I can pull up this trade. So, let's see. I did not pull up the trade, so that's probably going to take a second to load. But taking a look at what it is, it was a buzzer beater move, man. I almost missed it. Like, I figured it was done. We were, through the woods. It's over. But they got a buzzer beater move here, like they said here. In the end, the Angels getting some pitching. They got Tucker Davidson. Remember, this guy was in the World Series last year. Jesse Chavez as well. So a bit of a retool kind of a move for the Angels. So taking a look at the trade itself. Now, Raisel Iglesias was on a pretty big contract, so he had negative value. But the Angels, they sent over some cash with him. So it ends up kind of evening out. But Davidson, 26-year-old starting pitcher, he's going to be a guy that can go in your rotation here. And then you got Chavez. I mean, you're getting a guy for the bullpen, I guess. But to me, Davidson is the guy in this deal. I mean, for the Angels, I think the fact that they got a young starting pitcher out of this, I think that's good for them. Absolutely. Let's actually go here to the Braves bullpen. Here we go. Man, oh man, the Braves are looking good. They're looking good. You got Kenley Jansen back. Raisel Iglesias going to go to a setup role. I know you gave up Will Smith, but, Minter has been that guy in that bullpen for them. You still got McHugh in there. I mean, this is a good-looking bullpen, man. This back end of the bullpen is looking just disgusting. Let's look at Raisel Iglesias' numbers this year. The ERA is a 4.04, but the FIP is a 3.17. So 12 strikeouts per 9, 2 walks per 9. Home runs could come down a little bit, could come down a smidge. But I like this for the Braves, man. I think this is great. You got Odorizzi for some depth for the rest of the year. I like this Braves team. Everyone's, sleeping on this Braves team. I feel like everyone's looking at the Mets. Everyone's looking at the Padres. You're looking at the Yankees in the American League. Those are like the Astros as well. But I feel like the Braves are just being slept on. This is a really good team. Like, this is extremely good. Great lineup. You got Grossman on the bench now. He's a switch hitter. Odorizzi for some depth. This is great. Iglesias. I mean, come on. This is a great-looking team, man. And don't forget, you still got guys on the IL. Ozzie Albies will be back eventually. And Kirby Yates. Is there any update on Kirby Yates? I just want Kirby Yates to come back, please. Oh, his next rehab appearance was this past Wednesday, I guess. So Kirby Yates, it looks like he could be back. Could you imagine if he ends up getting back to that 2019 form? I mean, come on. Kirby Yates. Oh, Braves are looking great. They're looking great. And let's see with the Angels. Are they going to be putting Tucker Davidson in the majors right now? Nope. So it looks like he's going to the minors. to, let's see. Yeah, so he's going to go to AAA. But hey, for the Angels, I like that. You know? This is a guy that you can have in your rotation for the future. Hadn't done all that hot this year with the Braves, so they probably felt like, you know, we can part with this guy. We got other guys. He's 26 years old. But in AAA this year, not great numbers either. He had a good amount of strikeouts. 10 strikeouts per 9. But ERA of 4.59, FIP of 4.32. So, sounds like a change of scenery kind of a guy. He was doing all right last year. The FIP was a 4.5. The ERA was a 3.6. A little messy there. But, I don't know. xERA of 6. So, they didn't like him there. But, I don't know, man. I just really like this for the Braves. And hey, for the Angels, you know, maybe you're getting some potential here with the starting pitcher. So, but everyone. We had a few more trades. I'm just going to kind of run through them. Mets fan, $1.99. When are you doing the Mets roster? Well, I was actually going to talk about the Mets right here. We got a couple of Mets moves today. You know, for the Mets, I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of Mets fans, you know, I think a lot of Mets fans were kind of thinking big. I thought maybe they could get Contreras and Robertson. You know, I thought Robertson would have been a nice piece. But I feel like the Mets, they did all their work in the offseason. You know? I know that's boring. You know, you kind of want your team to go out there and make a move. But they did get someone like Michael Givens. He's been okay. He's been doing good for the Cubs. So, nice piece for the bullpen. You ended up adding pieces like Naquin. You ended up getting Vogelbach as well. So, I think the Mets, they kind of just made some low-key moves. You know? Nothing crazy. They just added what they felt like were just some slight tweaks to the roster. Let's take a look at the Mets moving forward. I mean, their lineup's good. You know? So you got Naquin and Vogelbach there. And then I was going to talk about this next. They also got Darren Ruff. Darren Ruff was a good piece for the Giants last year. And finally, J.D. Davis is gone. Man, like, I felt like this was a guy who has just been in trade proposals forever now. So, in this trade, you ended up getting Darren Ruff here. So, a right-handed bat, and he did good in some spots with the Giants last year, man. He's having a pretty good season last year. Hit 271, 385 on base, 16 homers. He came up in some big spots for them, man. And, hey, giving the Mets another right-handed option there, I think it's a pretty solid addition. So, I like that for their bench. Again, just a slight tweak. I don't think they needed to do anything crazy. You could have added a catcher there. So, I don't know. But you just got DeGrom back. How did DeGrom do tonight? How did he do? Let's go. Here we go. Oh, no. What ended up happening here? The Nationals taking the win here, scoring 3. I'm guessing so. DeGrom didn't give up those. Yeah, he was good through 5. So the bullpen just ended up not coming through. What happened with this bullpen? Nogosek, 3 earned in that 6th inning. So that's a rough inning there. Lopez as well gave up a run. So, yeah, man. Mets bullpen. But you just got Michael Givens, so that's going to be a piece. You know, be nice for them. And taking a look here at just the rest of the roster. Where are we at? Here we go. Again, you know, I feel like you could have added something here. David Robertson, they just didn't feel like they wanted to give up that much for him. But with Michael Givens, I believe, is he a free agent after this year, or does he have another year of control? He's a mutual option for 2023. Okay, so he's had a good year. 2.66 ERA, 3.83 FIP, 11 strikeouts per 9. The walks are a smidge high. But, yeah, man. I like it. I like it for the Mets. And, you know, they just made some tweaks because I feel like they took care of their roster in the offseason. You added the big pieces. You added Marte. You added Kana. You added Scherzer for the rotation. Right? So I think the key here, man, is, you know, they got themselves a pretty nice trade deadline acquisition without having to give up anyone at all. Pretty nice acquisition there of Jacob deGrom, calling him up from AAA. So, yeah, there you go. That was their acquisition right there. They got Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher on the planet when he's healthy. So, I really hope they manage him right for the rest of the way. I really hope he doesn't get hurt. I hope. I think they're going to be very careful with him. I think deGrom is going to end up being fine. Cross your fingers, knock on wood. But the Mets right now, their team looks solid. So, again, just made a couple of tweaks. J.D. Davis going to the Giants. It's like about time that this guy got moved. The Brewers also acquiring Trevor Rosenthal today. The Brewers, man, they ended up trading Josh Hader. And then you ended up bringing in Rogers, right? You bring in Rosenthal now. You brought in Matt Bush as well. The Brewers, they got rid of Hader. And I almost feel like their bullpen actually might be better now. Looking at the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen right now. I mean, my goodness. Taking a look here. And Rosenthal is still working his way back. So, I don't think he has pitched a few games this year. Has he? Has he pitched a few games? No, he hasn't pitched at all. He's pitched in the minors, right? He hasn't pitched at all. So what's going on with him? Well, I'm guessing he's going to be maybe back at some point. I don't know. But the bullpen as of right now, Devin Williams is going to be the closer. Matt Bush moving into a setup role. I think the Brewers are going to be fine. No Hader, but you got Williams, who's disgusting. I think Devin Williams is going to be a fantastic closer for you. So Hader was expendable to me, especially if they're now, they were able to add some pieces. I don't know, man. I like what the Brewers are doing. It's going to be a tough race in that Central Division. Cardinals are 2 back, or at least as of now, or that was maybe earlier. So let's go to the standings here. Yeah, 2 back. So Cardinals, man, I like what they did. There's a lot that happened, man. A lot that happened today. Almost too much that happened today, man. The last couple of days have been crazy. I really do wish I could have gone live today. I did get home at around like 3:45 today, but I saw like everyone was already live, and I'm like, you know what? There's no point. Everyone's got Ball Cap Sports was live. He had almost 2,000 people in his chat. And I'm thinking all right, if I go live, I don't know, everyone's already in these other chats. Who knows if I end up, getting anyone. I figured, you know what, I'll do it a little different. I went live tonight. We ended up getting around 600 people. And, yeah, man, just went over everything. And I think ultimately this is a really fun deadline. We saw a lot of good trades. Obviously, a historic trade with Juan Soto. Some very intriguing moves with the Red Sox, some retooling kind of moves, but very strategic at the same time. Teams like the Twins and Phillies going out there and just addressing needs. The Blue Jays making a couple of nice moves. The Mets doing some tinkering. Yeah. Just really thought a lot of these teams out here, the Yankees, fantastic. Love the move that they made for Bader. I think a lot of teams out here, they did a great job. I think some teams, could you say you're disappointed with the Mets? I wouldn't say so. They did make moves, maybe not flashy moves, but they've already made their moves. They went out in the offseason, they got stuff done. And they got deGrom back. So, the Dodgers, could they have done a little bit more? Sure. Yeah. And they got Joey Gallo, but that was it. I feel like they disappointed a little bit. Maybe even a lot to Dodgers fans. I could see, maybe you could have done something. I think the Cardinals did good adding pitching with Montgomery and Quintana. The Nationals, obviously, they're getting a huge package back here, so good for them. Could the Giants have done a little bit more? I feel like, Carlos Rodon ended up staying. You had a lot of guys that ended up staying. Wilson Contreras staying with the Cubs, Hap as well. Rodon didn't end up getting moved. Pablo Lopez ended up staying. That would have been fun if he went to a team, But, yeah. It was just a good day. It was just a good, solid day. Started off with a great trade, a historic one. One that you're not going to see that trade really ever. You see those big ones in the offseason. You never see that at the deadline. You never see it. Yeah, man. But that's pretty much all I have, everyone. That's all I got. I hope I covered this as best as I could. I gave my thoughts. I gave my opinions. That's it. It's been a fun ride. It's been this time of year for the last few years has been crazy. Like last year was nuts. We were live for that last year, and that was just, that was just nuts. I remember that stream. We had like 1,500 people in the stream. We were still around like 10,000 subscribers at the time. It was great. Like, it was fantastic. And this year, I would have loved to have gone live again. But hey, I had to go back to work today. We had the lockout happen, so the deadline got pushed back here. So I would imagine for next year, it's going to get back to the 31st of July. So if the deadline is on the 31st of July next year, I will go live during it. But yeah, man. So unfortunately today I just had to go back to work, and I don't want to be taking off work the first day that I got to go back. I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm a teacher. I'm a full-time teacher. So at the end of the day, that's my job. I got to do what I got to do. I would have loved to have been here today, but unfortunately it just wasn't in the cards. So this was the best I could do today. I could have gone live, but you know what? I just felt like everyone else was live at that point. I was hopping in other streams. I saw Blue Jays today had a stream going at one point today. I hopped in on their stream. Ballcap had his stream. I hopped in too. Even gave a super chat at one point. I just kind of was hanging around. It is what it is. Next year, if the deadline is back to the 31st, I will be definitely live. I'll even make up for this year. I'll do a 6-hour stream if I have to. I'll go all day. I'll do it. If I wasn't able to go live during it this year, I'll go live all day next year. But hey, in the end, it's just been crazy. What a ride that it's been the last, month or so. Obviously it's been a ride from the start, but the last month, man, we've ended up getting like a few thousand subscribers. We hit 25,000 last week. We're at 26,000 now. It's crazy, man. But hey, just because the trade deadline's come and gone doesn't mean the content is anywhere near stopping on this channel. Now it's time to focus on the stretch run. Now it's time to get into that mode. Power rankings on Sunday nights. We're getting back to that. And now it's starting to gear up for the playoffs, everyone. This is that time. So, yeah, man. Unfortunately, I love me some trades. I love all the rumors. It's my favorite. You all love it too. And so, it's always a little sad when it comes and goes, especially doing this, this content. But yeah, everyone, I'm glad I've gotten in a lot of new people for the channel. Really, I'm thankful for it. I'm humbled by it. We've had a lot of growth lately. I was on, the MLB YouTube Game of the Week last week or a couple weeks ago or whatever it was. Yeah, last week. It feels like it's been so long now. But it's just been a lot of really cool things happening with this channel, man. And I'm blessed. It's been awesome. You guys have been fantastic. And, yeah, it is what it is. It's been a great time, man. It's been a great time. But I'm going to get out of here. I got to wake up in the morning. I got to work. I got to work in the morning. I got to wake up early. I can't be going to bed late anymore. I got to go back to work. So, but everyone, I want to thank you. And again, thank you for all the growth that we've been having lately. The trade deadline, all of the rumors, it really does help that. And, and I hope for all of the new people that have come along to the channel, I hope to see you out at Power Rankings every Sunday night. I hope to, I'm probably going to be doing more streams as well. I'll be going live here and there, a couple times a week probably. Yeah, it's just, I like going live. It's fun. I like talking with all of you. And so look out for any streams and look out for content. Absolutely. I'm going to see if I can do a winners and losers video for the deadline. But also tomorrow, hey, I'm leaving now, but tomorrow, me and John of Baseball Trade Values, we'll be live tomorrow night. We're gonna break down. I want to hear all of John's thoughts. I want to hear all of his thoughts, the owner of Baseball Trade Values. So we're not done with baseball. We're not done with the trade deadline just yet. Be here tomorrow night. We're gonna hear John's thoughts. We're gonna break these down a little bit more, and we're gonna have a good old time. But everyone, on your way out, if you can, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit the like button on your way out. I was going for 300 likes tonight. Not quite there. We're at 241. But if we can get to 300, that'd be pretty cool. I'm okay with 250. I think that'd be a good place to land as well. So, but yeah, if there is anyone new here, think about subscribing down below. Once again, hit that like button. Hit the bell notification so you know when I go live or post any content. Share any content as well. Everyone, thank you for joining me tonight. A great deadline, a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm excited for what is going to come next. We're into the playoff chase, so let's get to it, everyone. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll be back tomorrow night with John of Baseball Trade Values, and we'll talk to you then.